like butter. Well, howdy friends, Brian Flechsig at Mad River Outfitters of the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools. And today we are going to talk about the new Scott Wave fly rod. And although there's been a couple of big rod launches this year, I do have to say that around Mad River Outfitters, this has been the most exciting. You know, just kind of course, we're big fans of Scott fly rods and how they support fly shops like ours and don't try to compete with us. But made in the USA, just really good folks. And they just make great fly rods. But this rod was kind of designed to be a warm water, saltwater specialty. They're made only 6 weight through 12 weight, so they're really not trout rods. But for us around here, smallmouth anglers, pike, muskie, stripers, largemouth, and then of course with all the saltwater fishing that we do, this is just the most exciting rod launch of 2022. And so the Scott Wave, just to talk a little bit about it, I do have a cheat sheet because there's a lot of great stuff going on. But first and foremost, they're appointed with top grade components, as you'd expect from Scott, like the SIC stripping guides. They have these custom machined aluminum and graphite reel seats. It's really pretty cool looking, and the super grade cork, of course, and so they're finished with as much thought and technology as their loaded blank designs. But to run you through some of the basics of the technology that goes behind these rods is first and foremost something called X-Core. And X-Core has to do with the way that the blank is wrapped, and such that the diameter is proportional to stiffness and strength. And X-Core, or expanded core technology, delivers a blank that transmits feel and maintains stability better than any other design approach, of course, according to Scott. They use faster taper mandrels with low mass, thin-walled blanks, and proprietary arc reinforcement technology, which is exclusive to Scott, but also React technology. That combines their X-Core design with some new complex materials and a taper system to create a breakthrough in fast action rod design. You get distance, control, and accuracy that those can be compromised by the waves that vibrate the rod even after the cast has been made. By simply making the rod stiffer to stop these vibrations kills the feel. So what Scott did is the React counteracts energy sapping vibrations by speeding up the recovery of the blank without the need to stiffen the rod with more material. This puts the feel in fast, and that's a really good thing. And I will say that. We'll talk in just a little bit about sinking tip lines, which I usually don't like on fast rods. But they also use the fiber fuse resin. It's a new enhanced resin system that Scott's using that creates bonds between each graphite fiber that are over 20% stronger than conventional epoxy resins. The arc technology, Scott's been using this for years, but their advanced reinforced carbon adds hoop strength and counteracts torque, which significantly increases the accuracy and line control. And then other features like their natural finish, something Scott is known for. They don't sand their blanks. You notice they're kind of ridged blanks. This adds durability, and it really also just kind of looks cool, and it kind of makes a Scott. Multi-modulus, they pioneered multi-modulus layup and blank design, and they're able to precisely control stiffness along the length of the rod that loads and unloads more smoothly. And then of course, as always, Scott fly rods are proudly made in their shop in Montrose, Colorado by a group of great and fishy folks. And then also, of course, they're covered by Scott's unconditional lifetime warranty, and they come with a black Cordura covered rod tube. So I can tell you again, from warm water, we've been fishing these for bass, for smallmouth. Pat's down in New Orleans right now, red fishing. He's got the 10 weight. I've been fishing the 6 and the 7. I've been throwing poppers. I've been smallmouth fishing, and I've been streamer fishing right here on the Mad River for trout as well, using the 6 weight. So pretty thrilled with them. So let's take a quick look at how they cast. So the first thing that you notice with these wave rods is the balance. I mean, most people that have picked them up, they look at it to confirm the length because it doesn't feel like a 9-foot rod. The balance in your hand is really almost uncanny. And the weight, they're just super light, super comfortable. And in fact, the 6-weight doesn't feel like a 6-weight at all, but it does everything and then some that a 6-weight should. One thing a lot of people do when they pick up a rod like this is they instantly try to throw a 70, 80-foot cast. And a lot of what we do, especially when we're boat fishing around here, we might not be making that long of a cast at all. I mentioned that Pat's down in New Orleans red fishing right now, and in the marshes, you might make a 6 or a 7-foot cast. So that rod still needs to be able to load at a short distance, which this does. You can still feel it. The line still loads the rod. The tip really tells you what to do. Really super impressed. But then if you do need to make a longer cast, it will do it in spades, and it throws a really crisp, nice tight loop. You know, we've been throwing small flies, we've been throwing big flies, just really put this through the test, and super, super impressed. And the sales, this rod's been, I believe it's been on the market for about a month now. We've been playing with them for about 2 months. And I'll say it's one of the best rods Scott has ever made by a long shot. But one of the true tests for us around here is always how the rod performs with a sinking or sink tip fly line. As a warm water rod, if it doesn't work with sink tips, it doesn't do me any good. So also being touted as a warm water rod, you know, most, I'd say 60, 70%, maybe 80% of my warm water fishing is going to be done with a sinking line. And heck, even if I'm cold water fishing, I'm here on the Mad River, and I've been throwing this rod with sinking lines, sink tips, and right now today I've got the Kelly Gallup Streamer Max Long from Airflow on here, and it you know, throws sinking lines very well. It's one of the tests that we always do with a rod. You know, not only do we want to throw a floating line and see what kind of pretty loops it can make out back behind the shop, but we always put a sinking line on and see how it performs. And this rod throws sinking lines very well. I mean, I don't usually love fast rods for sinking lines, but it does a great job. It's really excels, I think, at these sinking lines and throwing streamers. It's going to make for a great bass rod, of course, in addition to, say, pike, muskie, and of course, like its predecessor, the Title, a heck of a saltwater rod. But does well with the sinking line, so thumbs up on that side. Well, there you have it, friends. The Scott Wave fly rod. Pretty much like butter, as you'd expect. I'm a big fan. It's a fantastic rod. Certainly one of the most, if not the most exciting rod launch of 2022. And like I said, we're big fans of Scott fly rods. They're great people out in Montrose, Colorado. And they're also huge supporters of the fly shop. Scott will tell you that they do not sell their rods direct to the consumer. They sell through fly shops. They also don't sell on Amazon, and they don't sell to big box stores. And their slogan is, if they sold their fly rods in big box stores, well, that wouldn't make Scott fly rods special, now would it? So you can check out Scott Wave fly rods only at approved Scott fly rod dealers, such as Mad River Outfitters. Of course, there's links to all the models of the rods on our website. Check them out there. And of course, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you, hear how you like your new Scott Wave fly rod. So as always, friends, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss an episode. Hit that like button and stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming at you. And be sure to check out this video over here, and then yet another one there, and then heck, you know, watch them all.